In this video, we're going to be talking about doing a full walkthrough with MailChimp. So this is going to involve getting integrated with MailChimp and then going into MailChimp itself in order to create an audience, to act as a target where we can store our email addresses, and then finally go into a page within Convertry and set up a working form with MailChimp. So this is how to really get started and start collecting emails into your MailChimp account with Convertry. So your first step is integration. So to do this, go to the account dashboard and select integrations from the left-hand toolbar. MailChimp's the first one. Click Setup. Here, you'll be asked to connect your account. And basically what you need to be able to do this is your account login. So click Connect Your Account. It'll ask for your username and your password. So once you've put that information in, it will ask you, can these two applications talk to each other, which we want to allow. And then we'll be taken back to Convertry and we have a success message saying we are successfully integrated. We have the little green tick as well, which is always the telltale sign that something is integrated into our Convertry account. So once we know that this is set up and we're happy with it, we need to log into MailChimp in a separate browser window like I have done. You get different views here depending on your MailChimp membership, etc. So don't stress about that. But what we do need to do is to create an audience. So click Audience from the left-hand toolbar, click Manage Audience from the drop-down, and then click View Audience. So I'm going to talk for a second about why audiences are important. Audiences are also called lists, forms, a couple of other things depending on your autoresponder. But basically this is where your email addresses are stored. So if you have one MailChimp account, but you've got lots of different pages, some of them is a MailChimp, you want to set it up with MailChimp with a certain product, and one is a different product. So I'm giving the example of a pet shop here. So I may sell cat products and dog products and have a page that shows all my wonderful cat products and a page that shows all my wonderful dog products. I'll have a box at the bottom where people can subscribe to find out about more of my products, which is great, but I want to make sure I keep these two groups segmented, because I don't want to email the cat owners about new dog products. They won't be interested, and it can at times breed distrust because they wonder why you're emailing them about something they didn't sign up to hear about. So to keep your audiences nice and organised and make sure that everyone receives all the information they should be, you need to create new audiences, which can be done here. So here's your full list of audiences. I just have the one, and then you can click the Create Audience button to manage that, and you can create different audiences. So you could have a cat audience, a dog audience, and maybe a parrot audience, so much more. And that just means that everyone is kept in their right areas, and then you can manage the audiences here. You can click on them and get full details about the subscribers, how many people are opening your emails, how many people are clicking the links in your emails. So MailChimp gives you a lot of information on your audiences, but obviously I can't show you too much because no one has signed up to my audience yet. So once you're happy that you've got an audience that you will link up to a form within Convertry, you can go back to Convertry and go to the page that you would like to add a working form to. If you haven't got one, you can create one just for the purpose of following along today. So I'm using a template, so it's going to have the frills and the pictures, but the minimum thing that you would need to get this set up on a working page wouldn't be all this text, etc. You need two elements. You need an email input box and a submit button. I've also included a first name box so that users can enter their first names. So this can be done, these can be found in the form elements tray, which is here. You see form elements. Here's the first name box I used, here's the email box I used, and here's the submit button I used. So I've just gone for the first name box because I also want to know their first name and I want it stored within MailChimp, but the minimum you would need would be this email box and this submit button. So once these are both on a page, you are ready to get your form set up. So go to Forms on the top-hand toolbar, and from the autoresponders list, click MailChimp, because that's what we're using today. It will say which MailChimp list would you like to add your prospects to. Like I said, sometimes an audience is called a list. You can see here that that's the one I showed you as an audience, and it's coming up here as a list. It's just, it's the same thing with a different word, basically. Here, this step is very important. So this is why I added the first name box as an example for you. Fixed fields here tell us that both Convertri and MailChimp understand that the box labelled email is an email. But however, these fields here, as you can see, are unlabelled in type. This just means that MailChimp and Convertri haven't quite decided what these boxes contain. So you won't have all these boxes on your page, or you might do, but it will still ask you to map these out, and it would be good practice to map every single one, just in case later on you want to add these, to make sure, because otherwise these, the last name will show up within MailChimp, but it won't be categorized as a last name because MailChimp hasn't received the label on that. So I've asked someone for their first name, so I'm going to go here and do first name. You'll see last name. There's all of the different options on the list. If you scroll, you will be able to find them, or you can find something that's closest to them. So for instance, they're not always called the same thing, but they will be, obviously, phone number is phone. So once you've mapped all of these, you can click done. And if you haven't already on your page, you'll be taken to the screen and you'll be asked to set up a thank you page. If you don't want a thank you page, which is just basically somewhere that your users are routed once they fill out your form, then click stay on this page. But if you do, as a lot of people do, want to say thank you for signing up to my mailing list, etc., then make a page for this and then paste in the URL here. And then this toggle just decides if the form data would also be moving to the thank you page as well. Once you've done this, click done. Now this red tick wasn't there before, because before our form wasn't set up, and it lets us know that now it is properly set up. So you now have a working form on this page with MailChimp, so you are free to publish and test and check back into your audience in MailChimp and see that you have a new subscriber, which is you. And from there you are ready to start collecting email addresses with MailChimp.